3-pointers in a row, really catch that.
Yeah, she gave us a big lift right there. It's hard to do. She was sidelined with fouls in the first half, and so didn't play a ton of minutes. It wasn't like she, Allie, Neshi, those guys are warm. Taryn sat for quite a while, and I actually was on her about a defensive missed assignment too, right before she knocked down those threes. So I think to stay steady through that and to just be ready, with their feet set. We always want our shooters to have our feet set, and I'm grateful that the ball didn't stick. I thought that was one of the high points of today was the ball was moving pretty freely around, and so when she was open and the ball needed to find her, it did. It's hard when you have Allie and Paige and Taryn and Inesh and Lauren, like some of the I don't know who you don't guard, right? You have to guard them all. And I think Allie garnishes a lot of attention. Obviously, Lauren does too. And so Taryn, she's ready and lets it fly. And I thought that Ju had a nice one too. She was in rhythm. And so I think our shooters were pretty ready to shoot when the ball came to them, which is important for us.
Coach, can you talk about how good Lauren Whitaker has been so far? Not just in today's game, but the entire season through her first couple of games.
Yeah, she's a stud. If I would have been talking about Yvonne Ejim and the Trongs and all these people over the last 2 years that she's been here, or year and a half that she's been sidelined at Gonzaga, then you would have known a little bit more about her. But she's a really good player. She's very well-rounded. She's still making some freshman mistakes. I don't think she's been, even back home, she's not been on this high of usage. And this is new for her, and it's just a little bit different, right? But she is capable of scoring anywhere. She's so strong. She can guard. I think that, I don't know how long it's going to take, but she's going to be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. We have her guarding interior players right now. She could very easily guard any of their guards as well. She's just that capable as a defender. So there's not a lot that she can't do. She's a really good player. She's a great add to our team, and I think she's going to be an important part of what we do, each game and for a long time.
Last time we saw you against Stanford, it was about turnovers leading to points. You guys still had 22 total turnovers, but able to limit those points after them. Is there I'm trying to phrase this question right. Are people playing out of control maybe, or is it just lapses in mental? What is it that leads to those turnovers?
Yeah, I have to look. I think game to game. I told you guys early that I think maybe it was against. I don't know. Maybe I just told you in a phone interview or something. But if they're turnovers of aggression. And that's better than those turnovers of omission or the unforced ones, the unforced ones that are us trying to run in transition. Okay, we want to run in transition. We had 10 transition baskets today that we made. I don't know how many we left out there by either missing the layup, turning it over, or having a missed free throw. But we didn't have any missed free throws, so it wasn't that. But, those are the kind that we want to push the ball harder. We have some people, Allie is so comfortable just bringing it up, and we want her to let it go. And I don't think hers were necessarily transition passes. But some of it is that. So I think some of it is out of control. I think some of it is trying to thread the needle at times where we don't need to. And I think some of it is when we get discombobulated running average offense, then usually it ends in a poor shot or a turnover. And so that's a connection point that we need to continue to shore up. So I think it's coming from a lot of different areas. We definitely can't afford it. It's rare that you have 22 turnovers. Luckily, we were good in all the other categories, but it's just very rare against quality teams that you can win turning the ball over that much. They're just, not only are they taken away from us, they're given to the other team. So it's not like a missed shot, right? It's something that's additive to them as well. So we certainly need to do a better job with that. And at last game, our forwards had a grip of them. Everybody had them today, but our starting guards can't have 12 combined. And then our high minute forwards they're all new. And we go a lot through the high post and through the low post, and we expect our forwards to make a lot of decisions and a lot of passes. So I think that hopefully, as we get a little bit more comfortable with what our reads are, we'll grow out of that.
What adjustments did you like today that you guys sort of focused on from the South Dakota game or even the Stanford game, these past 3 games, to bring into today and bring out a win?
Well, I would have liked to have won all the quarters, but the disparity in the third and then the way we took care of business in the other quarters, that's what we're trying to sustain, right? We're having competitive stamina. That's some terms that we've used in the past. And, Allie brought it up to us in the beginning of the second quarter because our second quarters haven't always been great so far. And so she did bring it up to us, and we had a really nice second quarter. I think that after coming out of halftime, we need to dig in a little bit for a little bit of toughness so that we can excel at that point too. And it kind of who lands the first punch type of situation in that quarter because you are tired. And so we need to do better that. But I think the execution was better. We shot it better. I think we defended the three-point line better. They have good shooters too, and they were all mostly contested. I think that's why they struggled. So, we didn't rebound it quite as well. We turned it over just as much. So I think some of those execution pieces are probably going to be what stands out on paper, on the film. Sorry, I'm tired.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I wanted to ask about this week. Obviously, you're going to face Indiana, might face Iowa State on Marquette. Competition level is good.
Yeah, they're really good. All three of those teams are really good, and they'll be different. They'll be big. They'll be, they'll propose different problems for us. Our message in the locker room was just that we have to build on today. That we can't be results oriented. That's not our goal. Our goal is to be better in our next game than we were in our last one. And so over the next couple days, but after they get a little bit of rest tomorrow, that's the goal, is to figure out, our coaching staff is diligently scouring the film, trying to figure out how fast we can improve. What's the rate of improvement, and what areas we can get the most bang. What do we need to focus on so that we can be better on Friday than we were today? Were you going to ask one too? I'm sorry.
What?
Were you going to ask me something too?
I was gonna ask you something about Taryn and
Oh.
her role, but I know you already talked about her a little bit. But
Yeah.
she did say, she kind of thinks her role is trying to spark something off the bench. Is that kind of what she is, or what is her role?
Well, I love when it works out where you can bring shooters in off the bench. And she's also a hustle player, and she's also getting rebounds. So she happens to be a lot of the things that you want coming in from the bench. You got to bring something if you're a bench player. And we've had years where it's, we didn't actually start Brenna her first few games with us until Kaylee got hurt because we needed to bring in something dynamic, right? And her scoring was dynamic. And so Taryn, I think, fits all of the areas that you want to come in. If you need energy, you got Taryn. If you need shooting, you got Taryn. If you need, she's going against sometimes a second tier defender, which we always like, right? We've toyed with that with the forwards too, is if you can bring in a really quality forward who gets to go against a tired first string post player or a secondary post player, then that's good for you. So I think Taryn, she's doing a really good job. We need to keep her in the game. So she's got in foul trouble a couple of our games, mostly from hustle plays. They're not necessarily reaches and those kind of things, but she really can bring three different elements to us. And as she continues to build in those areas, it's going to make a huge impact. If we need rebounding, you can be the answer. And I tell my team all the time, you want, whenever coach says we need blank, your name to be the answer. And there are times when Taryn is the answer to all of those things. So that's good for her and good for us.
How do you think you guys finally settled in, took control of that again?
Yeah, honestly, we stayed connected. I know we've been 3-game loss streak, but every day we come in and when we practice, we always stay together. We always have a common goal. And for Taryn to step up, she knows her role. She's very confident, and we believe in Taryn. So for her to come and step up, it just gave us a lot of energy to still stay connected and still be together.
So you guys had 22 turnovers on the entire game, but you're one of those people that definitely plays in control. Is it just the turnovers from hustle plays, or what? What is leading to those maybe?
Yeah, well, I think Eastern Washington's a very good, aggressive defensive team. I know us working on our turnovers would be a big game changer for me. But I think me just being in control feeds off of also my teammates trying to keep the game in control. But I think those were just we were getting very aggressive. We saw our teammate open, and we're very very passive, and we like to share the ball. So I think it's just those times we thought we saw something and we were just a second too late. But
Jaden, I don't think it's a thing of playing in the Dakotas is sparked you, but talk about the minutes that you've been providing the last couple of games off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, I think like coming into the season, I didn't really know like what my role was going to be. We have a lot of talented forwards, and we brought in, 2 really good forwards from the transfer portal. But I just came in with a kind of willing to do anything mindset, and I think I've just been taking advantage of the minutes that I have been able to play. And I just think, staying present and being grateful for any time I get on the court, whether that's 2 minutes or 20, like it doesn't matter. I'm out there to play basketball and help my team win the game, and that's what it's all about. Like anything to get a win. I don't think it's necessarily about scoring, but if I'm able to do all the little things that need to get done and that's going to help us win, then that's what I'm here to do.
Jaden, I know Lauren's technically a freshman, but what has she taught you? I mean, obviously had 21 points today, but I mean, what has she been able to kind of instill and show the other forwards too?
Yeah, we were actually talking about this yesterday, and when people have like a come to Jesus moment or like a welcome to the WNBA moment, like my welcome to college basketball was defending Lauren on the very first day of practice. And she's just such a tough person to defend because she's knocking down threes and then she can just kick your butt in the post. So, I mean, honestly, her work ethic, like she works on her shot, she takes care of her body, all of those things, like it's definitely a really great example. And then she's just been really supportive, really encouraging on and off the court, like whatever I need, or if I have questions, she's willing to answer them. But I think competing every single day in practice, like we're both able to get better, and I think that's really important. Like I would never want her to take a rep off on me because she feels bad, like I'm a freshman, or because I'm new, because I want to get better. And it's the same thing with her, and I know she feels the same way. So I just think that we have a really good dynamic, and I'm really appreciative that we're able to be on the same team together and get better together.
Hits 3 of those threes in a row. What'd you tell your team? I mean, they kept fighting, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, we're always going to fight. They didn't do a nice job of coming out and working hard. We just had defensive breakdowns. They were running exactly the things that we knew they were going to run, and we would bite for every ball fake and leave up that corner shooter. So we'll learn from it. To beat a good team, you have to execute at on both sides of the ball, and we just had too many mental breakdowns defensively.
Jody, were they keying on any of your guys' players? I mean, maybe on Courtney, because it looks like only 3 players got over 8 points on your guys' side of the ball.
Elin, they started to double and really trap her on ball screens, and so that was a nice adjustment that they made just to try to get the ball out of her hands. And E's playing really well for us, and playing well beyond her years, and so I thought that they did a nice job of getting the ball out of her hands and making somebody else score, and somebody else didn't step up to score. So that was kind of the difference there down the stretch.
Jody, just talk a little bit about, I know Courtney only did get 10 points, but she 7 rebounds and tried to do as much as she could today. I mean, what has she been able to bring to your team so far, and has she provided some sort of leadership to you guys?
Yeah, Courtney's one of our captains. She is just one of the hardest workers on the team, day in and day out. Every single drill, she goes 100%, and so leads by example a little more than vocally. So we're trying to get her to be a little more of a vocal leader as well. But she's just gonna work, and whether it's the weight room or the on the court, she's gonna put in the work. So I think that kind of rubs off on everyone else.
Elin, 21 points. I mean, I know you've been scoring a lot anyways throughout the first couple of games, but just tell me, what did you see today? What was kind of clicking for you?
Just getting to the rim, right? With our scout and everything, it's exactly what we talked about. They're going to be icing the screens. Just got to find a way, get around it, and it was wide open, just like we've been practicing, so it worked out.
Does playing in an environment like this, does this help you, or kind of give you all right, we've done this, now we can go and get the rest of the season knowing that we've played in an environment like this?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely like playing in these louder environments. I think it makes your team, it has to step up. You have to be more connected. You're not going to be able to hear every play call or everything, so you just have to find those moments, bring everyone together, and that's definitely going to help us down the road when we come against these conference opponents, and it's the same environment.
Elin, you were frustrated with that second foul I noticed in the second quarter, but you played without fouling the rest of the game. What what did you do? What did you say to yourself to kind of get going?
Just got to find a way to stay aggressive without hands-on. I've learned from the last 2 games I've been in foul trouble. I hate being in foul trouble, so I got to find a way to stay on the court. So I just got to be aggressive but be smart.
Coach, this was obviously a little bit of a homecoming for Brenna. What has she just added to your coaching staff so far?
Yeah, it was cool to see Brenna Maxwell kind of come home here and see all the people that have supported her when she was a Zag, and she's been great on our staff. She's a young coach. She hasn't been there before, but she is just a sponge. She's eager to learn. She works really hard. She wants to improve every single day, and there is no task that is too small for her, that she'll go do whatever we ask. So she's just learning how to be a coach, and then she just has been in every situation that the players have been. She's the most recent, obviously, that has played, and she's had every role where she's been coming off the bench. She's started. She's lost her starting spot. Like, there's all these different situations that she's been through. So she's just a great liaison from the coach's perspective, and able to go talk to the players, and she has great relationships with our players. They absolutely love her, so we're really happy that she's in EAG.
Jody, kind of a double-barreled question, but what have you learned from your team so far, and what do they still need to learn for the rest of the season?
Well, I don't know that it's something I've learned. I know that they work really hard. They're really locked in on scouts and trying to play the chess match that is the game, and they do a pretty good job of that. We still need more people to really lock in when it's live situations, and make those decisions when the lights are on and things are moving fast. And so I think that Zags did everything that we thought they were going to do. It wasn't anything that was a surprise. It's easier to scout them than it is to play against them, because they have such good players that execute it really well. But I thought that we did a nice job with our scout. We just, had too many mess ups, and I guess you could say, in that on the defensive end. And then when we created turnovers, we just didn't capitalize and score enough out of them. I thought that we did a nice job of our rotations, getting hands on in passing lanes and creating turnovers, and didn't necessarily finish in those situations. So we got to get better at that.